Hey, pick your poison. Do you want to do things the easy way or the hard way? Something I've noticed is that most people usually do things the easy way. And the easy way isn't really always the best thing to do. People do things the easy way because, like, they find it to be, they think about, like, the short term goals or the short term success, short term incentives. And the easy way might have short-term reliefs and stuff like that. And I notice in the United States, the easy way is the primary option. um Doing things the hard way over here, usually in the minority, believe it or not. But yeah, you know like, I just saw an ad on, like, last night that kind of ties in with this. Like, what was it? It was like a heartburn commercial, and they were like advertising like medicine for like heartburn medicine. But you saw the people like gather up at a table, at a dinner table, eating all this unhealthy food. But they're advertising heartburn medicine. That's the easy way. You take heartburn medicine and you just keep eating the same bullshit, but you're not really handling the problem. You're not really doing the work to give you the results that you want. All you're doing is just delaying it. And all that's going to do is just aggravate your body and aggravate the problem, make it worse, because you're not doing what you're really supposed to do. And what that is cutting out what you're supposed to be, um what cutting out what's causing the problem. And it's also funny too, because, like, I mean, it's just a commercial, but, like, I just like looking at this kind of stuff. But the beverage was tea, like it was like iced tea or something, not even water. So, like, just to put the cherry on top. um but yeah, the easy way really isn't ideal. Regardless of what, you gotta put work in. And things are gonna be uncomfortable. Life isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Um, but it's really about doing what's best for you, what's best for your body, what's best for your goals, what's best for your future, all these different kinds of things. And a lot of us, we just want to chill and just have things just come easy. We don't want to work for anything, or we don't want to change or whatever. And I understand that. And if that's how you want to live your life, that's completely fine. Do understand that people around you may be upset about it, though, if it's affecting you negatively. Um, but the thing that bothers me is when people choose the easy way and in life, but they complain that they're not receiving what other people are receiving, or their life is a certain way or whatever. That's what bothers me, because you're choosing these things. The easy way, I feel like the easy way is just like doing things easy in the beginning just makes it harder uh in the future. And I feel like doing things hard in the beginning makes things easier in the future. And that's not always the case. It really depends on what you're doing and what you're trying to do and who you are. Because doing things easy in the beginning it could keep being steady. It really depends on what you're doing and what easy is to you. And doing things hard in the beginning, it can get harder, or or whatever. It really depends. But for me, as someone who often does things like with more difficulty, I feel like it has more rewards, and it's more satisfying, and there's more growth, there's more self-fulfillment, and you're able to handle adversity better, and you're able to understand things better, understand yourself better, and it really helps you grow. And the universe really appreciates those who challenge themselves. When you always do things the easy way, you often don't want to be challenged, and you often become very pampered and very like lackadaisical, and you don't really want to do anything that is uncomfortable. um but getting out of your comfort zone is what helps you grow and helps you do things that you may not consciously know you want to do, but subconsciously or in spirit you may want to do, but consciously you're holding yourself back. You know, doing things the easy way and the hard way, it's a spectrum because it could be like anything, like say like with your relationships, you might run from love because it's uncomfortable, because maybe you weren't loved correctly. So you run from love every time you come across someone who's good to you, or you feel a good feeling or whatever, but you're running from it because it's the easy thing to do instead of just sitting there and just facing it and just dealing with the discomfort, which is only temporary. It's gonna go away, you know? And that's something that I just always knew, well, I was kind of forced to like, deal with things that made me uncomfortable. So I just became used to it. So and I just realized, it's temporary. It's really temporary. You end up forgetting about it and you just move on with your life. And ultimately, sometimes you may not see all the rewards or you may not reap all the positive karma for all the things you've done at a certain point in your life, like in the present moment, but like in the future it's there, it's just when the time's right. But I just feel like humans, as I'm only 25 and I haven't really been out there like that, but like at this point in my life, I feel like humans really thrive off like, feeling accomplished and all these different things. And I feel like when you work for things and when you deserve things and when you like really like put the work in, it makes you appreciate things more. And it makes you feel it higher your self-esteem and your self-worth, and it makes you just feel better about yourself and love yourself more. But I feel like when you don't really work for anything, I feel like it kind of can lead to corruption, and it kind of leads to you be feeling bitter and envious and all these different feelings and this unaccomplished and have low self-esteem because you feel like you're not doing as well as others, or you're not doing as good as you know you should be, and you end up taking that on others, and that's not right. um and then it's even worse when like you have people around you who enable you and gaslight you, and they act like the littlest thing you do is like the shit. Everything you do is gold, everything you touch is gold, even though you're not really doing anything. That those kind of people are really bad for your development. You know it's nice to feel loved and to feel accomplished and everything like that, but if you have people around you that's just acting like you're doing everything right when you're not really doing anything right, it's not good for you. And also I notice when I look at people, it causes like it causes conflict within them, because deep down they know that like they're being gaslighted, and that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or they're not growing, and it's messing them up from the growth. Those people are actually messing them up, whether they realize it or not, but they are, because they're holding them back from developing. They need to hold them accountable for who they are, instead of just giving them what they feel like they want already. You need to earn it. And it that ends up making them feel really like bitter towards themselves and towards others, and it's just not a really healthy thing. That's something I've noticed in people. It's really important to kind of break free from these things, and kind of mix it. Life doesn't always have to be hard. Don't always have to do the hard thing, but you should always do the easy thing as well. Because when you do the easy thing, you can only grow so much. You need to, it's like if you like learn a skill, right, and you just, okay, I mastered like I mastered how to do like, I don't know, I'll say like fucking like basketball, I guess. Okay, cool. All right, like I mastered how to like lay up and dunk and stuff like that, right? I can do that. I'm so good at that, right? And then like people who play against you or play with you, or or help you, they are not as good as you. So they act like, oh yeah, you're so amazing. Oh yeah, you're the best. Oh yeah, this, that. But then, and you're thinking, because you don't really know, so you're like, oh yeah, I am the best. So yeah, this, that. You let go of your head, right? And then you go against people who are like, who mastered other different things. Like they know how to dribble and they know how to shoot, right? They know how to like shoot like middies or whatever, mid shots. Um, and then you're kind of like feeling away about that because you, in your head, you thought there was no one better than you. And and the people around you still gas you up and everything like that, instead of trying to help you um become a better person, a better player, whatever. And they'll get to the point where they gas you so much that they'll feel uncomfortable or afraid to let you know your flaws and everything like that, and that you need to grow, because that's what your relationship is. It's like when I watch like some anime, like when there's like a character, right? um I want to say Gabiru. Gabiru does have that, but I wouldn't say Gabiru. They just really admire him. But like some like kind of like simpy characters that like they can't do any wrong, right? And yeah, like there's like some there's a lot of characters like that. I just don't really pay attention to it that much. But because those aren't I don't yeah, I don't really I should look into them more, but I don't really like those kind of characters. But anyway, yeah, back to like the basketball thing. But yeah, it really messes you up because you're thinking, "Oh yeah, I'm the best." So now you're getting upset. You're gonna probably get upset at this other person because they're actually putting the work in, and they know that like, no matter how much work they put in, they're still not that great. They still need to keep on working because there's so much you can do in your field. You can keep on growing and growing, but you master one skill, and now you think like, you think you're on top of the world. And like I said, with your gaslighters, your enablers, they're leading you to your doom, and it's really it's not a good thing, because like I said, they're going to feel uncomfortable to address problems, um to address your flaws and everything like that, and they think it's like a crime to acknowledge your flaws and stuff like that. But you have to understand everything is flawed, because there's no such thing as complete mastery. You're always growing. Nothing can be completely mastered. Everything can be the real can always be reinvented. So that's why we have each other here, to inspire each other. But so like the ideal approach in that situation would be like, like, okay, that guy is shooting late, is like, wow, he's dribbling. I never thought about dribbling the ball before. Or he's shooting. I never thought about doing that. I just thought to just lay it up and just dunk it, and and I always win. you know so the best thing to do would just be inspired by that, right? Or even try being friends with them in a healthy way, or get to know them, or just just think about other things you can do. But if you have this like really entitled mindset and this immature mindset, you're not going to think about that. Instead, you may just think about, I'm supposed to be the best and whatever. I don't want to do that because I don't want to work that hard, or I deserve this, or I deserve that. Like, it's very immature, and it's really unrealistic, and it's really like, it's it's not a good mindset to have these things. And it's really good to have people around you to hold you accountable. You don't always have to do like the hardest thing or whatever, but it's really not even about always doing the easy thing or the hard thing. It really depends on you, but it depends on how you're living your life as well. You know, for me, I think most people should balance is really important in life. I feel like you should go like kind of like, I would say like mid difficulty, like normal, I guess. I don't know. But like incorporate both. I feel like most people should just kind of incorporate both. Sometimes do the easy thing, if it feels right. And then sometimes challenge yourself a little bit and do something that gets out of your comfort zone. Don't always do the easy thing, because you always do the easy thing, it's not going to help you grow. It's just like, say for another example, older conservative people, who's stuck in their ways. The easy way is to not learn anything, and to not change socially, or not learn new skills, or not take care of yourself, right? But is this really benefiting them? It's not, but they don't want to work. They don't want to change, they don't want to grow. And if you stop growing in life, even and start declining, that's called dying. You're dying now. Once you stop growing, you're dying. You don't have to like grow constantly all the time, but just, growing a little bit gradually, that keeps you alive. But if you're just gonna constantly just like, okay, I'm just gonna decline, and now you want people to take care of you, like, no, man. Like, no, you chose the path of death, so you gotta walk that shit. That's how I view it. But yeah, like maybe socially, they may be someone older, they may still have these like very outlandish opinions on a certain demographic. That's just complete bullshit, and it's over. They should grow from that. Everyone's not like this, but some people, or they refuse to learn certain skills that can just help them. Maybe they don't know about the internet still, or maybe they don't have a phone, and they don't want to learn these things, or they don't want to learn how to use a computer or the TV, or whatever. Maybe they don't want to take care of themselves or whatever, because it's too much work. They don't want to put the work in. But life for me, something that's awesome about life is the challenge, to take on new things and learn them, and to apply that to your life and see how that makes you grow, and how you evolve as a person. I think that's very awesome. But a lot of people don't like doing that, and they just do the same old things. Like, some people, they go out there and they just drink and party, and just fuck everything they see, because they don't want to do the work. That's easy. It's easier to just drink your problems away, or fuck your problems away, or inject your problems away, or whatever, instead of sitting with yourself, or being like, you know what, like, this is low key killing me. I should try to, like, I know it's not right, but I keep doing it. But I should stop, and I should slow it down, and figure out what's actually wrong with me. If my family doesn't want to talk to me about it, maybe I'll just start talking to myself about it. Go on YouTube. There's so many people. Look at me. There's so many people on YouTube that's talking about their own problems and stuff like that. You can find people you can resonate with. You don't need a therapist. There's so much stuff online. Psych2Go. Psych2Go is really good. If you're trying to figure yourself out, if you're trying to figure yourself out and figure out things about the this human psychology, and the human psychological state, and human behavior, I would check out Psych2Go. It's a YouTube channel. They have so much stuff. They're awesome. Yes, I recommend them. If you don't want a therapist, or you don't have family to talk to, or friends to talk to, Psych2Go. I'll put it in the description below. But yeah, like, work on yourself, instead of just doing things that just leads to you declining. It's important to challenge yourself, and to eventually be like, okay, this was cool for like a little bit. It's obviously not healthy for me. I did it a little bit, and now I'm on to the next phase of life. It's gonna be a little challenging, but I trust that I'll be able to handle it. That's how it should be. Instead of just being like, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing. Because when I look at people who do the easy thing too long, they're dying. And I just watch, and it's just so sad. You can just see it from the way how their body is, the quality of their body, the quality of their mindset, and these outdated beliefs they have. Like, dude, whatever you're thinking, like, it's all in your head, because you're letting yourself be stuck in this set point of time, or this specific moment in time, and you refuse to get out of that, to graduate from that specific moment in time. So since you refuse to graduate from that specific moment in time, you're uncomfortable by anything that does not go with that specific moment in time. So you constantly find things to validate whatever you want to just however you want to live your life. So if you're stuck on a specific moment, you only want to go be involved with people who will validate that and have similar mindsets, or be around people or be around certain situations that validate that. So now you think this is the world. You know, the world is whatever your cynical views are. When that's not the world, that's just your world. You know, that's not really the world. So it's really important to understand that you create your own reality, and that, you know, you attract people who correspondence. That's a law. That's a universal law. You attract people who have similar ideals and a similar mindset as you. So it's really important to understand that this isn't just the world. So people are like, oh, every uh certain race is like racist or this or that or blah 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 or whatever. No, that's your little world that you're in. So if that's what you believe in, every time you go outside or you go around people, you're gonna attract those people, you know, because you don't want to work on yourself. And the world reflects who you are. So it's really important to understand these things. So if you don't want to deal with racist people, maybe check if you're racist. If you don't want to deal with nosy people, maybe check if you're nosy. If you don't want to deal with certain aspects of life, then that means it's time for you to graduate to the next step of next phase of your specific life, your individual life. It's really important to understand this. But if you keep choosing the easy way out, all that happens, I see, is that they just end up being very upset with themselves and bitter and just wonder why things don't go their way. And then, you know, they ask God for this and they ask Jesus for that, but they're not going to really give you much, you know, because you need to handle your own problems. You need to face your own problems. You need to create your world for yourself. You created this world for yourself, and, you know, now you got to walk it. You know, if you want to graduate from it, it's up to you to graduate from it. You can graduate from it at any time, you know. And something I noticed too is, like, if you try to help them, they're not going to listen to you, because it's up to them to want to better their lives. But ultimately, you know, going the easy route, it's not really easy. It really isn't. When I look at that shit, that shit's harder than going the harder route. It just seems easy because you're doing things that you would rather do. Like, I feel like the easy route and the hard route is really about, what do you want to do? You know, like, for me, things that people think is easy, for me is hard because I don't want to do that kind of crap. You know, but for some people, things that I find easy, it's hard for them because they don't want to do it, you know? So it's really about, what is your mind fixated on? So if your mind's fixated on, like, you know, like doing drugs and like smoking and doing all this like stuff that's really destructive for you, and that's easy instead of facing your problems, then yeah, that's easy for you. Like, for me, like, that's hard for me because I can't imagine doing that kind of stuff. It's weird. For me, it's easier to just sit with myself and just ask myself what's wrong, like, and just check up on myself. That's just so much easier. But for some people, it's harder. But, you know, it's, at the end of the day, it's not even about what's easy or what's hard. It's about what's best for your development and what's best for your future, and what do you need the most. So that's really what it's all about, truly, about whether something's easy, going the easy route or the hard route, you know. You know, there's going to be discomfort regardless, and you're gonna have to face things that you may not want to face. So I always thought that, like, you know, it's just best to just do what you need to do to get to where you want to be, instead of just continuing to do these negative things that's just destructive for your body, because you're gonna end up damaging your mind, your psychological states, so much that it's going to be hard to be able to reverse it, and you're gonna damage your body so much that it's gonna be get to the point where you can't reverse it, and you're gonna age really rapidly, and you're not going to be able to live as long as you were able to live if you didn't do those things. So it's really important to understand these things. You put yourself in these predicaments, women having sex with random people because of father issues or family issues, or for validation, and then they end up having a child very young, and now they have to deal with those problems. You do not want to have a child young, trust me, you do not. And then all you're going to do is just end up bringing a kid into this world that can lead to corruption, and that can cause more problems for yourself and the world itself. And it's just not worth it. You know, rushing into all these adulting things because you see it and it's around you and people are pressuring you to do it because they already done it, so they want you to join them, you know, to make them less miserable. It's not really worth it. All these things aren't really worth it. It's important to just do what's best for yourself instead of doing what's best for whether it's pleasure or for whatever or for like pleasing people around you. It's best to do what's best for you. For me going being on the path that I'm on, I've always been rejected, you know? Like I just told my cousin like, well, like a couple days ago he talked to me. He was like, I was talking to him. I'm like, like, you know, he's like, you should do a trade. And I'm like, dude, I'm doing music and everything like that. And he's like, oh, but there's money in there and everything like that. But I'm like, there's money in music. Like, you know, I'll be fine. Like, I want to do music, but there's always people telling me to stop doing what I want to do, which is music. Like, they want me to do all this other bullshit. They want me to get a job when I'm just trying to focus on this. I don't have money right now, so I'm poor right now, so I don't really have money, and I'm just with my grandma, and I don't expect much from her because it's not her responsibility to look after me like that. I just want a place to be so I can just work on my skills and just work on my mindset. I don't really expect anything else. So anything I get is just I'm grateful for. But for me, I don't want a job or anything like that. It's not for me. I just want to have a place where I can just grow and be able to work on my craft and my mindset and everything like that. You know, and for some people that's hard, but for me it's easy. You know, I like it, you know. It's and also like, you know, like the easy route for me would have been giving in to my family, you know, keep on saying I should focus on this, I should focus on that. Knowing damn well I'm fully invested in music because I've been invested in it for a decade now. But I've never been encouraged. I've always been, you know, encouraged to go away from it, you know? So the easy route would have been, if I would have chose the easy route, I would never have a music career. I would never be on this path. I would never be the way I am. I would never be skilled. I'll just be doing some regular shit. You know, I would end up being either a lawyer or I would just end up just working a regular ass job. But I realized that's not for me. I don't want to do that. I'm not here to do that bullshit, you know? So, you know, at times you gotta fight for what you want, you know? You can't just like give in. You gotta fight for what you want. And, you know, we live in a defeatist, pessimistic world at the moment. So, you know, there's gonna be people around you, depending on the situation, you know, hopefully there's not, you know, if you aren't with your family, hopefully you're not with people who are you know, pessimistic and defeat and have a defeatist mindset around you. Hopefully you have people who are more like you around you in your circle, but you know, people out there who may, you know, try to kind of like steer you away from the path that's meant for you, and it's not worth it. It's important to just do what's best for you. If it's easy or hard, you know. A lot of people always choose the easy way, and I look at them and I look at how they feel. A lot of them are miserable, unhealthy, sad, not doing right, untouched with their souls, and they want me to do what they're doing. But why? Why should I do that when I'm happy by myself? I don't have anything. um, and you know, no one really checks up on me or anything like that. I do have people who kind of check up on me, like my grandma tries, but like she doesn't know how to communicate. So when she comes to talk to me, she just talks about like herself, or she just talks about like stuff I don't care about, or she just brings negativity, and it just makes me just uncomfortable because I don't want to be around negativity. It's not my thing. So like a lot of people just don't know how to communicate with me, and that's completely fine. I understand it. You know, I get it. I understand. You know, that's why I usually just be, you know, genuine and this kind because I see through everything. I understand the situation at hand. I wish people understood we're at my wavelength, but they're not. But it's okay, you know, because I get it all. I see what's going on. But yeah, I don't have anyone to check up on me or anything like that, you know. Because no one knows how to communicate with me. Or you know, or understands me or my individual world, and no one really wants to take the time to do that without, you know, with an open mind. You know, my mom tries her best, but you know, yeah, but I'm fine, you know. a lot of people think what I'm going through right now is really hard. Um, but for me, I think it's necessary to be who I want to be. So, if I want to be a certain thing, I have to do what I have to do to be that, some people, they want to be this thing, but they want to do it the easy way. If no, you got to do it the correct way. And the correct way is whatever, whatever you doing the necessary things to reach your destination. You got to do the necessary things. I like to go above and beyond and do a little more than that, but it's, if you just keep on doing the easy ass thing, you're gonna come across people who are not doing the easy thing, and they're doing things accordingly to their soul and what they should do to really thrive at what they want to do. And you can't get bitter and upset at that. If anything, you should be bitter and upset at yourself, and that's pretty much what you are. You are bitter and upset at yourself, but you're projecting it upon the other person. It's it's your responsibility to take accountability and responsibility for your own fate. It's not anyone else's responsibility to have to deal with that because you didn't want to do it, or you succumbed to pressure, or you listened to the wrong people. It's your responsibility. If you listen to the wrong people, you still have life. You know, do what you can do with the life you have, your circumstances, your destiny, your fate, and and get it together. You know, or suffer. Those are your two options. And I know some people may be like, you say suffer, like it's sad, but like it's true. Like, look at people, like you have to, something I know is that you have to be honest with people. If you're not honest with them, then they're just gonna keep on thinking everything is just like, yeah, like, they're not going to wake up to reality. Sometimes you gotta tell them their actual reality. If you don't tell them, then they're just gonna keep on going to their doom. Like sometimes, like, I bet like a lot of artists, like, I bet no one, like, a lot of like say like Mac and like Juice World and like Peep, like, and stuff like that. Like, they knew, like, if they keep doing this, they're gonna die. But I bet no one told them that. I bet, like, probably like some girl did, most likely, but probably not someone that they really wanted to hear it from. Someone that they cared about, like, truly care about. I'm not saying they don't care about whatever girl or whatever, but like someone, like, really, like, that they look up to told them that, they would have been like, oh yeah, you know what, you're right. Like, we hear so many different things, but we need to hear it from the right person. you know Even like, I bet with like X, like, if someone would have told him, like, the right person would have told him, like, dude, if you keep on doing all this destructive, like, menace, like, negative shit, you're gonna end up killing yourself, or you're gonna end up being killed by somebody. And that's just how it is. If someone would have told him that, the right person, it probably would have woke his ass up. Um, you know, like, um, for me, the person who, oh yeah, my mom. So, like, women I really, like, respect, they help me, like, kind of like stop doing things that, like, I'm not supposed to do, or that's not good for me. I always listen to the women in my life. Everyone's different. Everyone has people in their life that they really, listen to, and everything like that. Like, for my cousins, I try to tell them what they need to know to fix their fate and everything like that, but they don't listen to me because I'm not that person that they need to hear that from. They need to hear that from someone else. But yeah, the easy route is just not, it's not really, it's not worth it. It's like 2K, man. Like, if you play like my player, if you play like rookie mode or whatever, you don't really get much, you know? But if you play like Hall of Fame, you level up fast, you get all these things, you get so much more. There's so much more when you do things in a way that really helps your development. But if you're just trying to do everything with a slap on the wrist, and everything's just so fucking easy, life is gonna be much fucking harder. And it's just facts. I just think it's just worth just doing what you need to do. Like I said, not necessarily doing the hard thing, but just doing what is necessary to get you to where you want to be. That's very important. So, you keep on listening to all these people around you doing the regular thing and everything like that, but you feel so empty and hollow inside. And You know this is what you're supposed to be doing, but you're not listening to yourself because it's easier to listen to someone else who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about tell you what to do rather than you listen to your actual self and going against that, because now you're going against the current. You're going against the current. And if you've been going with the current for so long, you're going to be tested now, and then there's going to be so many people who are used to you doing something a certain way and listening to their bullshit, so they're going to try to stop you so you can keep on doing it, what they want you to do. But ultimately, it's just if you just do what you're supposed to do, it'll stop. But yeah, I'm done on that. Blessings, safety, abundance, health, prosperity, tranquility to everybody. Take care. Have a beautiful day. Love you all.